Welcome back to Simplifying the State, the podcast where we break down politics so you don't have to try and figure out why the National Guard is now in D.C. As always, I'm Adam Watson, and if you're wondering where Nicholas is, he's out of town this week, so it's just me, but he'll be back next week. All right, now before we begin, if you would be so kind as to rate us and follow the podcast wherever you are listening, as well as share with a friend who maybe wants a fun podcast to listen to, or maybe just share it with a random person walking by on the street. That's right, don't be shy. Think of it as a great icebreaker. All right, so I hope you all had a great weekend. I kicked off the new week with the normal stuff, making a to-do list, etc. The White House kicked off the week by deploying the National Guard to D.C. and federalizing the D.C. Metro Police Department in response to a carjacking of DOJ staffer Edward Corsten. So on Monday, August 11th, the president announced he was deploying 800 National Guard to D.C. and federalizing the local police department and effectively placing them under the control of AG Pam Bondi. Now today, Saturday, August 16th, the White House relinquished control of the D.C. Metro Police Department back to the police chief. However, the federal troops and agents are still in D.C. So while this is an extraordinary use of federal authority, this is not exactly unprecedented deploying the National Guard to D.C. The most recent example was following the January 6th insurrection, where the National Guard was deployed to D.C. In the period between January 6th and the inauguration of Joe Biden to provide additional security in the face of possible additional violence in the Capitol. So let's talk about what Trump maybe is planning on doing with the deploying of the Guard, as well as, is it legal? So the first question, is it legal? Yes, it is legal. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do it without it. So before he relinquished control of the Metropolitan Police, he federalized them through something called the Home Rule Act of 1973. So as many of you may know, D.C. is not a state. It is a federal district. Congress and the federal government are in control of the district. The Home Rule Act provided additional autonomy for the district in terms of its own self-governance. So it provided more autonomy in terms of its police force, its judicial system, its budgeting, but it included a provision where in the face of what a president deems a emergency, he is able then to take control of the DC Police Department, but not for a period of more than 48 hours. After 48 hours, he has to notify Congress. After 30 days, he has to request from Congress that they be allowed to do that. But that's what allowed him to take control of the police department. As for his plans, he has said that he wants to clean up D.C. both in terms of crime, and he said he would go to Congress to get funds to repave roads, medians, etc. The official DHS Instagram account posted a photo of a drawing / piece of art that depicts what D.C. used to look like in 1943 with the caption, "We can return." So it's possible that they're looking to return D.C. to this picturesque look. The president has talked about clearing out homeless encampments, but has not really said what they would do with the people who are in those encampments. Jeanine Pirro, who was appointed by Trump as attorney for the District of Columbia, talked about getting tougher on juvenile crime. So that's some of the stuff they seem to be planning to do. In addition, a Secret Service memo, which was obtained, showed that there are about 700 federal agents in D.C., in addition to the National Guard Trump called up, as well as the National Guard the governor of West Virginia is now sending to D.C. But I just want to talk about the federal agents part of that, which is, well, all of them specifically, which is that it's not like these guys weren't doing nothing. Like, I mean, the federal agents, some of them have said that they were working on cases before they were then sent to DC. So they were taken off possibly very important work, then sent to DC for, I mean, let's be honest here, it is a photo op. It's a attempt by Trump to create a show of strength. And the reason I say that is because crime for the last 2 years has been going down, If you look at the crime statistics, the amount of crime in the city has been going down in the last 2 years. But yet he has deployed the National Guard as well as federal agencies to DC to clean up crime, despite the fact that it is going down, in what is seemingly a response to a single carjacking of a Doge staffer, which seems a little bit like overkill, but you know. But yeah, just I'm not sure if this was planned, if this was going to happen later down the line, or and the carjacking just accelerated it. If this is all kind of a spur of the moment thing, it's hard to tell with this administration, but All right. Thanks for listening to Simplifying the State. We'll be back next week with Nicholas back, and we'll be back with our next topic. Remember to follow the podcast. Remember to rate it. Remember to share it with a friend. All that good stuff. And we will see you guys next time.